Our core value and business model at Trust Funding Association focus on the protection of the assets of our investors. We pledge to use Trust Funding Platform to analyze business feasibility of ICO and crowdfunding in the rapidly growing virtual currency and to monitor and review the distribution of the new coins. In addition, we will enable our investors to anticipate profits as well as protect their assets by sharing select information with the investors. Furthermore, the investors will not only be able to preserve parts of their invested assets through trust funding insurance even in case of fraud, but also enjoy a wider scope of benefits simply by joining the TFC Holder Club. By executing MAU in the technological/sales perspectives with the coin companies newly emerging in the virtual money market, we at Trust Funding Association will screen companies for fraud potentials during the initial phase, and promote and register only companies with significant business potentials at the Trust Funding Platform. We will provide insurance to the investors through Trust Funding Insurance, and by operating the Holder Club of Trust Funding Coin, we will enable the investors who joined the club to receive dividends for the new coins as well as to have a higher insurance rate applied when the investment is carried out. In sum, our objectives at Trust Funding Association are to allow the investors to create profits while receiving protection. The protection of investors is the core value at TFA. What is ICO? ICO is the acronym of Initial Coin Offering. This is the event also known as crowd sale, in which the company that developed the cryptocurrency offers it to the public for funding purposes. In general, certain quantities of encrypted tokens are released to the public during ICO. If investors interested in the encrypted token purchase them by paying bitcoins and other cryptocurrency, the coin company procures the fund with which they can achieve continued growth, and the investors become entitled to the equity share in the tokens. Typically, the company conducting ICO allows the investors to purchase the coins at a discounted price during pre-ICO and ICO. For this reason, if investors evaluate certain coins to have a good prospect and business feasibility, they can anticipate larger profits by aggressively investing earlier. Problems in ICO market. As the ICO market becomes the more popular, larger number of companies are participating in this market as a financing method. However, different countries and corporations have different viewpoints regarding the approaches to ICO and the cryptocurrency. The fundamental problem derives from the fact that there is no uniform regulation for ICO. Separate ICO regulations exist for various countries and local jurisdictions. As such, investors and coin companies are expected to fully understand the applicable regulations in their country or area when participating in and executing ICO. Yet another problem is the absence of the universal standards. For instance, Ethereum and Bitcoin process transactions using different back-end technologies. Though this type of diversity may be conducive to the blockchain innovation, it can cause difficulties in resolution of problems caused by the lack of compatibility among the developers. The last problem is the cost. In order to launch a cryptocurrency through ICO, the company must be able to execute $250,000 or more. In some cases, the cost is as high as $1 million or more. In addition, a dedicated development team is required to carry out the preliminary definition and development regarding the initial coin platform, as well as other electronic wallet and blockchain technology. Finally, marketing, legal and other operational expenses are required to execute a successful ICO. Problems in crowdfunding market. Although crowdfunding is achieving a substantial growth in volume, the largest problem with the conventional crowdfunding model is that the users who sponsor or participate in the funding campaign are kept from information about the status their invested projects. There is an abundance of other related problems in the current crowdfunding model, which are addressed briefly in the introductory part of this white paper. First, there is a high risk of fraud with ICOs under the current model, with a large number of campaigns grossly miscalculated, more exaggerated in terms of their value and the success prospect. Second, access to crowdfunding projects is increasingly becoming more restricted. Only certain places in the world allow crowdfunding, and different regulations are enforced by different economic agencies. Third, platforms or some crowdfunding institutions charge large commissions, 15–20%, when raising funds. Fourth, even projects known promoted as crowdfunding endeavors are sometimes changed to compensation or loan projects. For instance, a water bottle manufacturer may advertise that it is financing its business via crowdfunding, in which the company sends finished products to the investors, but in reality the investors may receive money, not products. Crowdfunding can be categorized into contribution: investors receive the joy of sharing; compensation, goods or services; loan, interest, and profit distribution, beneficiary certificate. Types. Higher growth rate of crowdfunding projects lead to increasing default rates, which may in turn cause problems regarding investor protection. Introduction to TFA. We at Trust Funding Association will strive to resolve problems in the crowdfunding market. First and foremost, we are planning to focus our capabilities on enhancing reliability by registering and managing only new companies that passed business feasibility review and fraud screening conducted our internal verification team. Trust Funding Platform is the technology platform for the crowdfunding market. This platform is user-friendly and intuitive and is the complete fundraising tool to resolve all problems faced by the creators trying to realize their ideas. Unlike other platforms based on crowd participation, investors can quickly participate in funding projects within minutes using Trust Funding Platform created with our superb technology. Within Trust Funding Association, Trust Funding Insurance will be offered for preservation and protection of the investor assets, which will prevent larger losses by preserving a certain amount of the investment principal, in case the invested company turns out to be a fraud. Our team, composed of the crowdfunding experts, will provide everything necessary, such as technological solutions including smart contracts demanded by the investors, the potential marketing efforts, advisory services, specialty management services and others. Moreover, additional profit structures and high compensation ratio of the investment principal are offered for the TFC Holders Club. TFA does not only protect investors through TFI, but it also provides diversified types of utility through TFP. Introduction to Trust Funding Insurance, TFI. A very important component as well as the supreme safety device, TFI is the insurance company for investors funding verified businesses. Of course, although TFA experts conduct 2 audits, verification, and evaluation to validate companies, we prepare for the worst-case scenarios through this mechanism. TFI is applied to all investors without additional charges. 70% of the investment principal is preserved if the crowdfunding project fails, and up to 50% is preserved at the maximum in case the ICO funding fails. However, the insurance is not applied to story funding. Introduction to TFC Holders Club. The objective of TFC Holders Club is to reward the investors' trust for the services offered by Trust Funding Platform, TFP, which is provided to the members with Trust Funding Coins, TFC. 1. Condition for joining TFC Holders Club. Members possessing 100,000 TFC or more. 2. How to join TFC Holders Club. 2.1. Log in to our site. 2.2. Send TFC to the wallet address allocated to the applicant on the club management menu. 2.3. After completing the token transmission, check email to confirm club registration. 3. Benefits for TFC Holders Club members. After new ICO is completed on Trust Funding Platform, TFP, website, up to 5% of the raised fund is distributed to the club members, depending on their equity share in TFC. Members can check their equity shares for each ICO on the website club menu. In case TFC Holders Club members invest in companies which turn out to be fraudulent, TFI reimburses the investors up to 70% of the principal. Refer to the TFA introduction web page on our website for more information on the reimbursement rate. 4. Conditions for TFC Holders Club membership cancellation. The membership can be cancelled at any time, but the dividends related to incomplete ICOs cannot be provided to the cancelling member. The TFCs used for joining the club can be returned to the canceling member's wallet within 24 hours. About TFC. 1. Token name, TFC, Trust Funding Coin Investment Coin that can be trusted. 2. Quantity of issued coins, a limited quantity of 400 million Trust Funding Coins, TFCs, will be issued through the ICO in which the total coin amount will be internally paid for. 70% of the coins will be provided during the pre-ICO and ICO phases. Our ICO will be executed for 2 months. Trust Funding Coins, TFCs, are offered at a discounted rate during the ICO. Trust Funding Coins, TFCs, supplied but not sold during the ICO will all burned. Within weeks after the ICO, Trust Funding Coins, TFCs, will be listed on Yobit, HitBTC, and KuCoin listing on main exchanges such as BitREX, Binance, Huobi and others is also planned. 3. Sharing of profits, TFC holders can acquire new ICO coins simply by joining the Holders Club. In addition, investors can participate in verified crowdfunding to make investments in which the principles are preserved. Because we have business agreements with coins verified and registered on Trust Funding Platform, TFP, all members with Trust Funding Coins, TFCs, can receive a larger bonus by participating in these ICOs. In particular, the members who joined the TFC Holders Club will receive 5% of the raised funds, depending on the equity share that they hold. Fraudulent new coins are screened by careful analysis and verification by our technical and verification teams. When the coins supplied through these ICOs are registered at Trust Funding Platform, TFP, an additional 1% of new coins is provided as the bonus. For ICO and crowdfunding projects registered at Trust Funding Platform, TFP, 3% of the raised fund is charged as the commission. This fee is used as operating expenses and technology development costs.